line, Trohina, Sindalah, and Oxagon. This is Neom, Saudi Arabia's vision for the future. An advanced, sustainable, and futuristic megacity unlike any other. In October of last year, many trailers and videos about the start of its construction reached millions of people around the world. But somehow, updates regarding its current progress are difficult to find. So what exactly has been going on, and how much, if any, have they already built? Oh, here's the construction update of the line. First announced back in 2021 by Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the line is by far the country's most ambitious megaproject to date. It's supposed to be a self-sustaining linear city that would stretch more than 100 kilometers from the Red Sea up to about the city of Tabuk to the east. The plan for the city consists of two 500-meter-tall buildings that would run parallel to each other. The vision is that everything you need is within walking distance, and the entire city will have 0 cars, 0 roads, and emit 0 emissions. Of course, an announcement like this provoked a lot of reactions, especially after drone footage of excavation work was revealed way back in October of 2022. But not much is known about the actual progress of it. There's actually been a lot of work done on the line over the past year. In a recent exclusive interview from the project's executive director, it was revealed that construction of the vital infrastructure is estimated to be 20% complete. This includes important roads, offices, and logistic hubs necessary for future work on the site. These developments can all be seen on satellite images surrounding the entire project's length. And compared to images we've already shown from last year, there have been many substantial changes to these sites. The Neom Community 1, for example, now looks and functions like a complete city of its own. Complete with hundreds of housing units, a school, a mosque, a post office, convenience stores, and a bus state's main structure has had some significant progress over the past year as well. Looking at Google Maps, you can now almost completely trace the beginning of the foundations from end to end. Excavation work on the coastal section known as the Hidden Marina is also well underway. Once completed, this section of the project would become the single largest marina in the entire world, shipped the wonder of the seas. Currently, work on the Hidden Marina is considered to be the largest excavation project in the world. As many as 1 million cubic meters of earth are being dug up each week to make way for the construction. Aside from the excavation that's been ongoing since last year, piling work has also commenced for the main structure. Over the past year, more than 4,500 individual piles have been installed in a section of the line known as Module 43. At its peak, more than 60 piles for the structure's foundation were installed on a daily basis. This figure is expected to increase even further as construction is set to ramp up over the next few months. Finally, the line's dedicated underground rail system, known as the Spine, has also received some major changes. As of June 2023, the overall scope of the entire system has significantly been reduced. For one, the total length of the underground tunneling to be done has been reduced by more than 30 kilometers. Additionally, the total number of stations was reduced from 48 to just 9. The line, along with the rest of Neom, is directly financed and owned by the Saudi Public Investment Fund. This is Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, which is directly controlled by the Crown Prince. At the moment, this $700 billion sum remains the primary driver behind the constant progress. Current contracts with other companies mainly involve the excavation and foundation work. Some notable names include the Keller Group from the United Kingdom, Bauer from Germany, and the French Bachy Soletanche. Meanwhile, the state-owned construction company Power China is responsible for the current piling work being done on the marina. Finally, Italian constructor WeBuild and Saudi's own Sajco have recently been awarded the contract to build a high-speed rail line that would connect the line to Oxagon. The inherent irony with the project's promise of sustainability. One expert from the University of New South Wales estimated that the construction of the entire city would have a total carbon footprint of as much as 1.8 gigatons of CO2. To put this into perspective, this figure alone is equivalent to more than 4 times the annual emissions of the entire United Kingdom. It's just not sustainable to stack all elements of a city vertically on this scale. Also, there are serious concerns about human rights as well. Many experts say that residents of the United Nations Human Rights Office, some of the protesters were sentenced to long prison terms, and 3 even face imminent risk of execution because they were sentenced to death. This has definitely become a hot topic that will also affect the project itself. We will now take a look at progress on the next major development, which is Trochina, an insane luxury outdoor winter and skiing destination in the middle of a vast mountainous desert. Though similar in scale and absurdity as the rest of the other projects, Saudi Arabia actually has to completely finish building it in just 6 years. The reason? The upcoming Asian Winter Games in 2029. After a successful bid just last year, the kingdom was awarded the rights to host the prestigious event. The project was first announced by the Crown Prince back in 2022, just a few months before the country's successful bid for the Winter Games. Located some 50 kilometers from the Red Sea coast, Trochina is situated within one of the country's highest mountain ranges. Ever since the project was first unveiled to the public, there has been some steady progress towards its construction. Over the past year, much of the work done on Trochina is the actual excavation process around the mountains to make way for its many developments. A total of 1.6 million cubic meters of material has already been excavated at the site for the creation of a giant man-made lake at the center of the project. Progress on an area known as the Vault is also well underway. This is Trochina's vertical village, which will be dug out from the surrounding mountains. Cubic tons of material have already been excavated from the mountains. Foundation work on the future ski village has also been in progress over the past year. As it stands today, the plans for the construction seem to be very well underway, and with considerable progress in just the span of a year, Saudi Arabia seems to be committed to their very short 2029 timeline. But despite this commitment to their deadline, there are still a lot of questions that are left unanswered. One of the greatest criticisms against, although temperatures in the mountains can reach below freezing, snowfall is still a rare occurrence. To have enough snow for a functioning ski resort, this project would have to rely solely on artificial snow machines, which require a lot of water and electricity to operate. All of this starts to sound even more challenging when you add the fact that seawater all the way from the Red Sea will be used for it. Not only do they have to transport all this water over great distances and elevation, they also have to desalinate it first. But now, let's get to Sindalah, another major project within Neom that's currently under construction. It's Neom's luxury island resort destination off the city's coast. The island destination is well positioned by the Red Sea and is accessible either by boat, seaplane, or the nearby Neom Bay Airport. Sindalah will be a world-class yachting destination, which features an 86-berth marina. The island will also be home to 3 luxury hotels, a golf course, and an array of luxury restaurants and retail outlets. First announced just in December of this past year, this major project is expected to be the very first to open within Neom. Its developers plan to welcome the island's very first guest by as early as 2024. The success of Sindalah is actually very important to the rest of Neom, as its opening next year will mark the very first opportunity for the public to experience what this futuristic city is all about. Given its imminent opening date, construction on Sindalah is actually well underway. Looking at satellite images from Google Maps, most of the island is currently being built. Roads have already been built, and the basic layout of the buildings and foundations have already been decided. Some structures around the island's marina even seem to be nearing completion. Additionally, much of the grass for the planned golf course has also already been laid out. Marriott International, which has already signed an agreement to open 3 luxury hotels in Sindalah, is also confident that they will be able to finish construction in time for the 2024 opening. Meanwhile, to the island's northeast, an entire community dedicated to the project's development has also been set up. This area features various offices, logistics hubs, housing units, and amenities for the people working on the site. Out of all the major developments in Neom, Sindalah seems to be the most developed one so far. The 4th major project within Neom is Oxagon, a floating industrial port city by the kingdom's west coast. To give a brief background, Oxagon is supposed to be the business and industrial heart of Neom. It would be a port city located in one of the busiest shipping routes in the world, and serve various emerging industries such as green energy, for example. The project will also be home to the Port of Neom, the future megacity's main industrial and logistics hub. With an investment of $2 billion, Saudi Arabia hopes to open the port's first terminal by 2025. But aside from industry, Oxagon will also serve as its own thriving city, complete with dedicated residential, entertainment, leisure, and tourist districts. Some notable companies are looking to expand their business through this project. All these developments are set to open sometime between 2025 and 2026 as the city's very first residential community. Despite the lack of any actual news surrounding the construction, there's only been limited work done on the project. Looking at satellite images of the site, some infrastructure surrounding the port of Neom has been built. It's worth noting, though, that some of these buildings are part of the older Duba port, which was recently transferred and renamed to the newer one. A little over to the south, an Oxagon community has also been set up, similar to those built around the line and Sindala. Compared to the rest of Neom, this seems to be the one with the least amount of work done. Looking at everything that's already been constructed, Saudi Arabia seems to be quite serious about turning their trailers into reality. How exactly they will turn out, though, well, we'll see in the future.